Make sure to 4, 3. Let's make sure not to overshoot this. I mean, we of course have the alarm there, so there's little risk of doing that. Whoa! Okay, you know what? I am looking to the side and seeing this happening. Give me a second. The secrets of the green screen. There we go. We need to aim ourselves prograde. There we go. Excellent. All we need to do now is wait for our appropriate return. This was a highly successful mission, I must say. Look at this. We have some fuel to spare. Not that much, but it was a comfortable range. So I'm very happy about that one. The landing was good. The everything installed correctly. Actually, oh, I would have wanted to have done an EVA here. Ah, well. 3. No, too early. 3, 2, 1, burn. Now this burn we are going to be doing from preferably the focus point of Kerbal. So what I want to see is what this apoapsis is going to do. There we go. I'm going to be very careful to hit that exactly where we want it to be. 90, 70, 60, 50, 40. Let's get some RCS in on this. Get it just below 30. Excellent. We have a direct return from Minmus to there. Now, what I want to do here is, while we can, get some... There we go. Spacewalks in. Just to get him a little bit of experience getting the spacewalk. So, Jexus, by the way, if you're not, playing some PUBG or something in the meantime, you were mentioning that you've read all of the Expanse books. So tonight I'm going to be finishing the first one. I was thinking of just immediately buying the next one and starting that. Love Kindles for that. No waiting for the actual physical book. It's just read, buy, move on. But what are your thoughts on the quality of the books, the different books? Because I'm already seeing this first book clearly set up to have a longer story. From what I can see so far, this is not going to be wrapping up nicely. And I mean, I'm pages away from ending. I think I'm at 95% through the book or something. Somewhere along those lines. 20 minutes, 26 minutes away of reading time, according to my Kindle. So it seems like it's already made for a longer story arc, but it was... I really enjoyed the theme of the first books so far. The character development was a lot of fun. I like the characters of Holden, Naomi, Alex, Amos. They're very fun characters. I like Miller as well. But as it looks right now, near the end, he is going to die horribly. Sadly. Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry about that. Wasn't even thinking about it, that it's also a TV show, of course. Okay, we should be good for returning. I think we are all ready to just enjoy. We could reorientate towards retrograde soon, but we'll be fine. So yeah, the second book is absolutely worth it. Nice. From there on, more or less changes in scope or tone. Each book really has its own plot, and you don't necessarily have to read the next one in the series to enjoy them separately. Oh, okay. Feel like he isn't gonna die, he will join it. Yeah, that might actually be reasonable as well, actually. They more or less lost you. They more or less lost you after book 3, but you read them back to back, which isn't always the best idea. Started with 4 again. I loved it. Oh. Ugh. Yeah, that's to be honest though, I kind of have it like with even with Terry Pratchett, who I love his works, but if you read too many Harry Pratchett, I'm mixing up Harry Dresden and Terry Pratchett, which is kind of like Guards, I guess. But if you read too many Terry Pratchett books after another, whoa. Wait, did we just over? We just accelerated past it. Darn it. Which no. I'm gonna quick load. I am gonna quick load. This is unacceptable. 220. You know what? I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go burn retrograde and see if we can reasonably do this. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to quick load because we warped through the periapsis. We warped through the periapsis and our safe burn. Didn't even know that was a possibility. It's a bit of an issue. Okay. How much life support do we have? We should have been caught there, and it should have auto-paused. Okay, we have enough to do this correctly. Wake me at the apoapsis. This is a bit annoying because we should have slowed down there, and then we would have done a normal proper arrow break. But right now we would have just flipped through it, and it would have cost us 11 more days, which we barely have in our life support. Whoa. What? It set something as a target. Unset as target, thank you. We're gonna need to adjust our periapsis to be about, there we go, little under 30k. We'll just warp to here safely. We'll just call this a plan maneuver. Litho breaking wasn't the point here, Maffy. Litho breaking is what I'm trying to avoid at all costs. Recognize Pratchett forgot what books he has. Oh, the whole Discworld series. A lovely series of books. But yeah, you can also absolutely go overkill with them. We are going to 30k periapsis. That should be just fine. We are ready to just go descent. Separating in 3, 2, 1. Same with the Expanse. You had a feeling the third one was actually a good book, and you shouldn't have read them in quick succession. Yeah. Yeah, there's very few books I know where you can just read them one after another and enjoy all of them. You haven't read them, just know of them. You mostly listen to the audiobooks nowadays rather than reading. I haven't really gotten into the audiobook thing. For me, the problem with it is they're expensive is the wrong word, because I can clearly see that they're worth the price they're asked for, because it has to be a performer. And I can absolutely see that can add to the reading, or, you know, the experience of it. I've heard that the Harry Dresden novels read by James Masters are supposedly real good. But compared to the price that I pay for a Kindle book, I don't want to pay that on top of already the book itself. The Kindle books are such a good deal. So I haven't really gotten into the audiobooks, even though I kind of want to hear some. Okay, I just want to see this thing explode. There we go. I know there's a mod that gives you real nice heating effects and plumes and so on. I was hoping it would explode more before it got out of physics range. Okay. There's this issue where your mind just goes all over the place when listening to audiobooks or podcasts. You lose attention. Yeah, it's like we were talking about before, that you said that it helps you to see people for a podcast. Because for me, it's more... I prefer podcasts to be purely audio, because then I can do other things while I listen to them. To the point where, for example, the Drop Frames podcast, I rip the audio from YouTube and then listen to them on my phone. Because I don't want to sit somewhere and watch that when there's nothing really that's added by the visuals. Like, they'll play some shots of the game they're discussing, but it's hardly ever that they literally directly focus on what's happening in what they're showing. So I'd much rather listen to it while I'm going shopping and then, you know, listen to a podcast. You only listen while driving to and from work? See, that's what I do sometimes as well, yeah. In the bus, listen to a podcast. The last book of the following 30 movies. Steven Erikson, I love those things. I have a couple of them here in like the physical book format. Great fantasy, I love those things. But Audible's great for it. Yeah, I think if I go for audiobooks, Audible's probably what I do. There's Karuna, usually they're great. Great if you want to enjoy a book without taking the time to sit and read, yeah. Check out the trial of Audible, something worried about the cost, yeah. Yeah, I've been hearing good things about Audible, as well as the credit thing, where if you take that subscription, you get like one free audiobook a month, which seems reasonable for a reading rate. Let's start deploying these drogue chutes, slow down swiftly. Oh yeah, you're saying that, getting credit every month for a book of any price, which seems like the best idea. I'm kind of interested actually in Hillary Clinton's upcoming book in a couple of weeks. It's going to be released. It's called What Happened, and you know, guess what it's about. Just kind of just want to buy extra books that are cheaper. Oh, nice. You guess the visuals help you focus on what's being said. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah, that, you know, makes sense. Every person processes things their own way. Like I've noticed, for instance, that I find visuals distracting usually. Like if I listen to a lecture, I like to listen to the point being said and I want them to mention it and move on. And when people go, you see, it's like a balloon being inflated, I go, oh god, just, you know, wasting my time. And it's just people process things in different ways, so I can absolutely see the use of it for some people. It's completely not for me though. The books were fallen. Oh, the Malazan books of the Fallen were massive. Something like 30-40 hours per book. Hagen insured books with Audible, not worth it. Yeah. See, that I can get. But it also really depends on the person reading it, I think. By the way, I'm just so happy just looking at this little beauty descending onto Kerbal. It's a success story, this thing. We finally made a proper manned mission to Minmus. With all our life support, with the surface experiment packs. It only cost 2 dead Kerbals, but we're fine. Know of him, should know his name. He finished the Wheel of Time books. Oh wait, finished? Brandon Sanderson? Haven't heard of him. No. Then again, I haven't actually read the Wheel of Time. I had it here, I just got it, never read it, donated it to charity a couple of weeks ago, because I was like, I'm just not going to get around to it. But yeah, isn't it cool, Nafi? This is the best feeling, isn't it? Just Watching that return, knowing that everything is okay, you've done it, you've managed it. Ah, so happy. It's that feeling of accomplishment that games can sometimes give you, where you've set yourself a challenging goal, you've achieved it, and you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Recover that vessel. Ah, feels so good. Will the Town books, first couple are amazing, then ends up with the typical high fantasy bullshit of let's not finish these story arcs and just keep on writing. Yeah, that's the thing I really dislike. It's that whole, this is going pretty well. Let's milk this for a couple more. Thank you for that follow. Oh, look at us. Both of them now to level 2. Love it. We have 737, which means we could afford hypersonic flight for 550. We can't add on heavy aerodynamics yet, but we could get hypersonic flight, which means we're going to have to upgrade this for 1.7 million. That's going to be tricky, but we're going to do it anyway. That gets us the ability to buy the high signs, such as the hypersonic flight. Very heavy rocketry, by the way, would be real nice. But hypersonic flight gets us the rapiers and the shock cone intakes. These babies get you to space. I don't know, a Caribou Saber engine, what is that? I have never seen those before. Aerospace. I like this. The absolute cutting edge in aerospace technology. Quite literally, some of those edges are very sharp. Handled with care. Heavy aerodynamics takes 300. That gets us the big cargo bays, the big cockpit. That's the real solid space station stuff. Oh, there's so much other stuff that we can make, by the way. So much other thing. So many other things. Like, these Werner engines are probably something I'm going to want to use for an actual proper space shuttle. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to make that space shuttle design and test it by flying it from here to the other side of Kerbal to do these this mission that we have. Second set series has an audio movie. Every character is voiced by a separate person. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you mean like a radio play type of thing? Mistborn. I've never heard of Mistborn. Available, explore Kerbin. Docking around Kerbin, dock 2 vessels. Oh, we can easily take that, because that, you know, we're going to be building a space station soon. Orbital survey of the Mun. It's a little bit easy right now. We can drive to Dick Grayson somewhere, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. Duna. I'd love to get some science from Duna, but you know what? Space shuttle is what I want to make. You want to see me build space planes? Space plans. Space planes with hatches that open up and cranes that pop out to refuel, resupply space stations. Jexus, that's exactly what I want to build. I want to get there. Thank you for that follow. Is a book specifically about the universe and the characters that go between the different series. Huh. Gonna be 3 trilogies. That's cool. I have never heard about that. I'd love to get into that. Okay. So we got the Rapier engines. These things, as you can see, unlike any other of these things, like this one, the fastest engine we had before, the Turbo Ramjet, takes liquid fuel, but still needs air. These things take liquid fuel, but can use oxidizer. And that's how it works in space. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to be building a plane that has a bit of... Let's see. Do we need a monopropellant tank? Let's just go without it for now. We could build something that has liquid fuel in it. But we're probably going to have to get a rocket fuel fuselage. A full-on rocket fuel fuselage engine. Add something like this. We also got these. I don't know what these are for. I don't know if any of you knows the specific advantage, but if I look at it, these have ISP 275 surface level to 305 vacuum. These have 290 at surface level and 340 vacuum. So it looks like these are engines to be used in space. And the other ones are meant to get you to space. That's why Discworld's so good. It's basically standalone books in the same universe with the same characters. Exactly. That's what I like. Each one you can just read separately and enjoy separately, which is just perfect. There's in different time periods for the world. Some characters becoming part of history. Oh, nice. What was that called? Mistborn? Yeah, Mistborn. Might have to look into that as well. Sounds interesting. Okay. Next thing I want is... Where's that air int... Oh, wait. Is that under aerodynamics? The air intake thing. There, the engine pre-cooler. But the supersonic intake, I think, is better. I can put 2 of these on the side, maybe. Because they are... Are these just intakes? Yeah, the divertless intakes with a little bit of fuel. Because my idea is that we put these in there to deal with the space travel. And on the front... Okay, that was weird. On the front, we can take the shock nose... No, wait, is that the ones we have? The shock nose intake? I think so. That's the newest one, right? Offers exceptional performance at all speeds and some heat shielding of its own. It's gonna have to wait. You're not allowed to go inside bookstores anymore. As in not allowing yourself to go in. That's a good policy. Looks like second stage engine replacement. Be okay when you start to accelerate horizontally. What do you mean exactly, Maffy? I'm not following you there. Wait, what is that one mission where... Okay. We need to take pressure readings, okay. Now... What are those? Oh, those are those are life support for the other base building mod that I put in there. Okay. Now I wanna... was it a utility item? The escape hatches? Yeah, there we go. The ejection cover 2A. That is the one for multiple Kerbals. I want to make sure we get one of those in there. And of course, we are going to need a science. There we go. The Kerbal engineer thing. And we're going to get a pressure barometer. Oh, that's what you're saying. The dart engines work well in vacuum. Yeah. Cool. That was the idea. Oh. I suddenly realized... oh, cancel that. Ideally, I want these to work on... I want to have groups, action groups for these. Space plane X1. Save that baby. Exit. Go get a trial of Audible and get one of the books to try it out if you haven't really gotten into audiobooks. Remember hearing them when you were a kid and hated it? Also just a few years ago, you get really into it versus reading. I actually really enjoy... darn it. We can't get the better action groups. Ah, well. actually really just enjoy reading, the visual experience of it. Precisely, ironically, for the exact opposite reason of why I like podcasts. Podcasts are something I do when I'm doing other stuff, when I'm walking from A to B, while I'm doing the dishes. That's when I like to listen to podcasts. But I don't think we need Medium for this, do we? Might be about time to get Medium gear, though, I guess, given the possible weight of this baby. But yeah, so podcasts are what I like to listen to when I'm doing other things, but books I kind of want to reserve for when I really focus just on the books. You know, when I just want to read and that's it. That's why actually about an hour before I sleep, I tend to want to turn off all lights, all screens, all blue lights, and just I have this old lantern that I use that I turn on, and I like to read, and that's why I like the Paperwhite Kindles, because they have the front lit screens that are a little bit better, and I can turn the light down quite a lot. I really enjoy that. It's a nice calming experience before you go to sleep. Let's see, I wonder if I can make something. Let's turn the RCS 8 off for a little bit. I've been reading up, by the way, on cool things you can... Wait, what? Ah, there we go. On cool things you can do while trying to lift off, which includes... Heck with that follow. Which includes building in flaps. Not ailerons, but actual flaps. Things you would turn on just to get your plane off the ground and then not use them during the flight. That actually sounded like a real good idea. Let's see. This doesn't actually give me enough room to make these wings a little bit bigger, but I think this should be okay, actually. Hey there, Fub. Depends on how you focus. Yeah, pretty much exactly it. Good to see you, Fub. So personally, nearsighted focuses well when just listening when doing something major, but you can't have any distractions really with listening. If it was a podcast, you wouldn't mind some distractions. Spent the last 30 minutes moving your rover into Great Crater on the Mun. It's oddly relaxing, isn't it? Big S Elevon? That seems too... That seems too big. That seems a little excessive. But this is what I'm talking about, though. These Elevons. To use something like that to... oh, hello. How about instead of these small Elevons, I use these big Elevons? These should be for roll and pitch. And ideally, I'd want this to move a little bit more forward, something like that, maybe. Maybe even something that angles it forward a little bit. God, it makes it look like a real fat, ugly thing. How about though, vessel mass? Can I check with... I was hoping to see the lift with the engines full and the engines empty. Because what if the engines are fully empty? This thing moves backwards. See, and that's the problem. That means that once these are empty, this thing is gonna start flipping.